Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us here tonight at Campfire Tales Cryptids of America. I have a very special guest with us tonight. Um, on our first episode, we talked about how you could email us stories about whatever encounters you may have. If it's Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever you want to call it, UFOs, ghosts, paranormal stuff. Well, our guest tonight, her name is Janelle, and she does have her own YouTube channel. I'll let her tell you more about that. And she's bringing us a ghost adventure. So, with no further ado, Janelle, take it away.
Hi, thanks for having me. Yeah, as Curtis said, I have my own YouTube channel. It's Nessie Out of Water, Nessie with an IE at the end. And I do travel blogs and share my travel mistakes. And I'm about to have some of my own ghost stories up on it as well. Just because my life is a mess, so why not share stories about it? Um, what I wanted to tell you today is about one of the many experiences I had while I was in college. Um, this was not a college I had picked out. I had never even heard of the place. I went there because my then boyfriend, now husband, was going to go there, and I didn't want to be away from him. So I didn't know anything about the school. Uh, I got accepted, and I was like, okay, great, I get to be with my boyfriend. And I got an email, excuse me, I got an email that said, pick your dorm out. So I looked at pictures of the dorms, and I picked the prettiest one on campus. And there's something about that building attracted me so much. It was just gorgeous and old and had these beautiful balconies on it. And my parents helped me move in to college, and I remember the day I was moving in, the very first trip my mom and I were making into my dorm. You walked into the front door, and then there was a set of stairs down both sides, and that entered into the lobby. So you actually entered into the basement of the building. And the very first time, I remember I had this blue plastic container in my arms, and my mom's carrying some boxes, and we walked through the front door. And before I even go down the stairs, I turned to her and I said, Mom, this building's haunted. And I don't know how I knew it. She even asked me, how do you know that? Why do you think that? And I told her, I don't know. There's just something about this building. I've never heard of the school before. I know nothing about it, but this building is definitely haunted. I can feel it.
So, would you consider yourself to be a sensitive?
I don't, I wouldn't say I'm a sensitive, but I do feel like I attract spirits. And maybe I'm more open than a lot of other people are. Um, because basically, since the day I moved into college, which was in 2005, until fairly recently, I'd say until about 2 years ago, every single place we lived in either was haunted or became haunted once we got there.
So, you think the spirits know that you can sense them and maybe they follow you around because, I don't know, maybe they have a message or something?
I don't know, maybe I have noticed I love watching ghost shows, and I have noticed that when I watch ghost shows, activity seems to pick up more in my house. My dog gets more on edge, whatever. He gets frustrated, starts barking and growling at things, and once I stop watching ghost shows, if I just cut them out, everything's really normal and calm. So I don't know if maybe I just make myself more open when I'm watching these ghost shows. I don't know. It's bizarre. That's all I know.
Okay. Okay, well, go ahead and continue then.
Okay, so we get moved into this dorm. Um, I meet the dorm mom, and in jest, she says, "Oh, how do you like the dorm?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's great aside from the ghost." And she laughs and she's like, "Oh yeah, but she's harmless." And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, well, I guess it really is haunted. I guess I'm not just imagining things. Okay. So, I asked her for a little bit more info, but I got the name of the ghost, and through research I learned how she died and everything, but I'm not going to share that because it's an easy Google, and the school really likes to keep this haunt private. Like on the hush. If you don't get shut down, I'm surprised. um, but anyway, one of the stories I wanted to share was about the night that I woke up, I don't know, 2 a.m. or so, and I felt somebody watching me, felt a presence near me. So I roll over in my bed, and there's somebody standing right beside my bed. Um, our beds they were very high. They sat about 4 feet off the ground. We actually had to run and jump to get into them. And I mean, to tell you how much room we had underneath, we could completely sit upright underneath with headspace. We built little study forts under our beds. So I roll over and I see the top of somebody's head right beside my bed. It's brown hair. And my first thought is, oh, my roommate's trying to scare me. So, joke's on her, I caught you, ha. So I pet her on the head. And I said, very funny, you can go to bed now, you didn't scare me. And I felt her head underneath my hand, I felt her hair. It was real. It was as real as you sitting right here with me. So many things had already happened up to this point that even, in my head, I'm thinking it's a prank, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking it could be real.
So, how many roommates did you have at this time?
At this time, just one.
Okay, just the one.
Yeah.
Did anybody else have access into your dorm that could
No.
come in and prank you?
No, and nobody would, because I was actually the prankster on the floor. I had this gorilla mask, and our RA had to come to the rooms every night. That's the resident assistant. She had to come to the rooms every night and do head count. And I was known for laying in my bed with the gorilla mask on, so when she shone the light around, it would scare her. I repetitively scared her. So, no, nobody had access to the room other than me and my roommate. Nobody would be coming into our room trying to scare us. It's not the type of college that was.
Yeah.
So,
So did you confront your roommate about trying to scare you?
yeah. I woke up that morning. I got up before she did. And I go over to her bed, and I crouch down low, like this person beside my bed was the night before. And I get my camera, and I make sure the flash is on. And I jump up and I take a picture, and it flashes. And I yell, "Truck!" Now I'm trying to scare her into waking up, And it works. She wakes up. She looks at me, and she says, "What are you doing? Why'd you take my picture?" And I'm like, well, I'm just trying to get even with you for last night. Thought you were funny. Ha, 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 ha. And, I mean, she is completely flabbergasted. She has no idea what I'm talking about. She swears that she did not get up the night before. She slept the whole night through. I mean, I believe her to this day. She's one of my oldest friends, so I don't have any doubt that she was being completely honest with me. So did I pet the ghost of our dorm on her head? I don't honestly know, because the ghost, the woman who supposedly died in our dorm building, was a college student. So she would have been between 18 to roughly like 22. And this person was the height of my bed. So I don't know. I mean, I know ghosts can take different forms, different shapes, different sizes. So maybe it was her, but if not, I pet some other ghost on the head that night. And all I know is when I woke up in the morning, she wasn't standing beside my bed anymore. So, I mean, that's just one of the many crazy things that happened in that room. And
there was actually more to this interview, but for whatever reason, the recording started messing up. I'll have to have Janelle back and retell the story that she was about to start. anyhow, I want to thank you all for joining us again tonight. And remember, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up, make a comment, send us your story. Thanks a lot, and God bless, and have a great night.